My name is Rob Dixon from ERROS Limited. I would like to talk to you about a most advanced feature of ERROS, its ability to store and navigate bidirectional relationships. This is available in any application created with ERROS. ERROS is a leading-edge connectionist database and application development framework. The concepts of ERROS have been patented. Please expand your video player to play this video using the full screen. To demonstrate its bidirectional capabilities, I am going to use STIPPLE, an advanced application for recording history of any sort. STIPPLE was created using ERROS. STIPPLE has a far more complex structure than many business applications and has very many different bidirectional relationships. A vital part of a history application is the ability to browse through all the data. The user must be able to navigate all connections randomly between entities of any type in either direction with immediate responses, without the use of a query language such as SQL. Navigation of bidirectional connections allows the users to find data that is connected in ways of which they were previously unaware. I wish to demonstrate how easily a new bidirectional relationship can be created in STIPPLE. I will then show how relationships can be navigated in either direction, and how the user might, if he or she so wished, end up taking a circular route through the data. Bidirectional links are not possible on the Internet, and would be very difficult to achieve with relational databases. ERROS does not use a relational database. STIPPLE uses the ERROS Standard Operator Interface, which has been designed for maximum efficiency rather than to win a beauty contest. You can change the colors and the font size if you wish. However, users can create their own interface if they prefer. The screen shows the initial menu for STIPPLE. You will see that the fourth item is for a gazetteer, a geographical directory or dictionary that in STIPPLE also includes the names of all buildings and structures recorded in STIPPLE. To access this, I can either type the number to its left or double-click on it. Gazetteer moves above the input box. The STIPPLE lists sections in the gazetteer. I want to learn how many buildings have been recorded in STIPPLE that have a room called a Great Hall, a common feature of larger medieval houses. One of the records displayed is STIPPLE Catalogue of Building Main Features. If I double-click on this, STIPPLE will navigate to that entity type and display, in alphabetic sequence, the first few terms currently in that list. This is a controlled list, but it can be updated by those with adequate security. As more buildings are recorded, that list will almost certainly need to be expanded. The fifth item is Great Hall. If I double-click on that, STIPPLE will display a menu, and I then double-click on buildings with or possibly with above feature. STIPPLE then displays just 3 houses with great halls. There are many more to record. Note, there is a shortcut for doing this. Type *main/great/BUI* and press or click on Enter, which will take you to the same place in just one step. Broughton Castle in Oxfordshire is not in the list, even though I know that it does have a great hall. I decide to access the record for Broughton Castle. I could press or click on F3, jump back, or F12 back to return to the Gazetteer sub-menu and navigate my way through its menu structure. However, I can get there in one step without pressing F3 or F12 by typing stop /BROUGHTON space CAST*/. In other words, stop what I'm doing, look in the application fast path index for an entity type location, then in that look for a record Broughton Castle, and then show me the record for that building. If at any point STIPPLE finds more than one record that fits your request, STIPPLE will stop to allow you to select the one that you want. You can find instructions on how to use the index by hovering over the yellow word index at the top of the screen. STIPPLE will show the small amount of information about Broughton Castle recorded so far in STIPPLE. These are all clickable links. Not surprisingly, there is no record that Broughton Castle has a great hall. The message below the input box instructs me to press enter to continue. If I do so, I can then click on all information and then click on main features of building. STIPPLE tells me that there are no records. I can either press F9 as instructed or click on the green create button below. STIPPLE immediately displays the list of valid terms for this relationship, which was defined in the ERROS database when I developed STIPPLE. This is the same list as we saw earlier. I wish to record that Broughton Castle has a room called the Great Hall. I double-click on Great Hall, and STIPPLE displays a create screen for the relationship. I can type a comment about the relationship if I wish. I then click on or press enter to create the relationship. STIPPLE displays a message, relationship created, and shows that there is now a relationship between Broughton Castle and Great Hall. This appears here as a one-way relationship, but of course all relationships are bidirectional in STIPPLE. This bidirectional relationship is stored in the ERROS database without using HTML-style links. The more technically minded amongst you may be interested to know that the mechanism within STIPPLE that allowed me to create this link is a standard feature of all ERROS applications. Exactly the same program code, part of the ERROS main programs, is used in all ERROS applications without any change for connecting absolutely anything to anything else. The same mechanism is also used by developers when creating applications. To now find all buildings with a Great Hall using a search engine, I would have to re-enter the search term. But STIPPLE, because it was created using ERROS, stores all data in context. If I press enter or click on Great Hall, STIPPLE will display a menu. Double-click on buildings, and STIPPLE will display a list of buildings recorded in STIPPLE with a Great Hall, showing the relationship from the inverse viewpoint. This is only possible because all relationships in STIPPLE are bidirectional. Broughton Castle is now in the list and is displayed in correct alphabetic sequence. No query language was required for this, nor were the records sorted before they were displayed. This is a contextual database, and this is the sequence in which the records are stored. At present, this is only a small list, but it will grow as more data is entered. I have successfully created a bidirectional relationship and shown that the new linked data is instantly accessible over the internet because the STIPPLE web pages immediately reflect the latest changes to the database. If I now double-click on one of the other buildings, such as Apethorpe Hall, STIPPLE will display the STIPPLE initial display for Apethorpe. This has a total of 69 connections to images and other data. As all of these are bidirectional, it is possible to reach the record for Apethorpe Hall through any of the linked records or through other records linked to those. Other initial display layouts can be created to suit the needs of different users. There are no static web pages stored in ERROS or STIPPLE, and ERROS generated the necessary HTML and JavaScript as soon as I clicked on Apethorpe Hall. The layout of this and all other pages are defined in the ERROS database. Although I came from Broughton Castle via its Great Hall, I can immediately move on from Apethorpe Hall through any of the links on the page. If I double-click on Grade 1, STIPPLE will immediately display the first records in a list of Grade 1 listed buildings recorded in STIPPLE so far. This includes my own home, Borstal Tower, and below that, Broughton Castle. If I double-click on that, then STIPPLE will display the updated page for Broughton, which now includes Great Hall as a main feature of the building. I have gone round in a circle. This is only possible because STIPPLE allows bidirectional links. If I press F3 or click on Jump Back, STIPPLE will return me to the list of Grade 1 listed buildings, starting with the one after Broughton Castle. I can page down and find other Grade 1 listed buildings. These include Wootton House, or I can type Wootton and press Enter. If I then double-click on Wootton, I will see the initial display for Wootton House. If I click on Sir John Soane, an important architect who restored Wootton after a major fire, I will find that he lived at Pitshanger Manor from 1804 to 1810. If I click on Pitshanger Manor, I will find information about that and learn that he was also the architect interior decorator of Pitshanger. I have demonstrated how simple it is to create a bidirectional link in STIPPLE, and then to immediately navigate that link and find other links of which you may not be aware. Each time a new link is created in STIPPLE, the sum of the knowledge contained grows, and that sum is much greater than the total of the individual bits of data. This is something that internet search engines cannot achieve. For instance, typing Broughton Castle in Google produces 6.28 million pages without quotes and 101,000 pages with quotes. In STIPPLE, there is only one record. Of course, there is currently more information in Google about Broughton Castle than is presently stored in STIPPLE, but when all known data about Broughton has been entered in STIPPLE, there will still be only one record. Response times for all ERROS applications, including STIPPLE, are almost instant, and do not measurably deteriorate as data volumes expand. All ERROS applications are built to be able to handle enormous amounts of data if required, known in the computer industry as big data. In this demonstration, I was able to switch seamlessly between different types of data without any adverse effect on response times. There are large numbers of records in the STIPPLE database. I only showed you a few of them. If you feel that this video has been a little too quick, please play it again and pause it to allow a longer look at the screens. If you wish to learn more, please contact STIPPLE by emailing sales@stipple.co.uk or sales@erros.co.uk. Thank you for watching.